California was in the 90s, early 90s out there. Carefree, loving, but welcome into the Hulk and Spaceshot show. We're glad that you guys are all here. We got plenty to talk about. We got a lot about elections coming up here very shortly, which I find very interesting of what the news media is telling us itself. We've had the boss over at the correspondence dinner the other night. I don't know if I got enough clips of that or whatnot. There's a whole lot to cover, talk about. We're glad that you guys are all here. Have you smashed the thumbs up button? Please do now. Leave a comment at the bottom of the video. Good morning, Mr. Spaceshot.
What's going on, dude? Technical difficulties, bro. And so you didn't you didn't catch my message. My power got zapped out basically as we went going here. But we're good. We're good and live. We're back. We should be back.
You like lost power?
Like totally lost power. You didn't catch my message. There we go. There we go. So, yep, we're back live and good to go. Let me just text everybody in the chat to refresh if they're not hearing anything.
Yeah, you sure did.
Hearing anything. There we go. But how is it going on this fine Saturday? It's beautiful out here, dude. It's like nice low 80s, sunny, like not humid. Beautiful.
Oh, they plugged in the sun over here in Southern California. I'll drop you a quick little screenshot right here. We'll get an update. Oops, why'd you do that? Let's get a. You know, I saw somebody in your chat that says, let's start going. It's already 103 in Arizona.
Ugh. That's brutal.
Here, this is right now. So let me pop this over to Discord and I'll pull this out.
With the
temperature check, people. Yeah, power zapped. I just saw that. Just showed up. Good morning, people. I got coffee in my hand. Let's see some 5x5s out there. And
you know what the good thing about that is that you need to share with me too. The good part about that was that the computer had enough power that it kept Rumble Studio and OBS going the whole time. So even though the internet was out, it kept alive. So I'll just have to leave a pinned comment for the folks to start the real show here. Looks like I got to rewatch your stream here. Here we go.
There we go. There's that. What was I shooting for? I was shooting for my thing.
Yeah, shoot for your thing. How is it going out there, all my fellow world patriots and patriots? That's you?
That's right now.
Dude, it's 84. What are you complaining about?
Yeah, it's going to be 100.
And
yeah, what are you complaining about?
What's the humidity?
It's going 53% right now.
Oh,
it'll probably go up to like 60 or 70 or whatever out there. But look, we got almost 100s and the 98s and 99s and 100s for the week. So summer has showed up as we get the monsoonal heat dome that showed up over the Arizona border area. So they have monsoon seasons coming in through Henderson, Nevada, out there in Las Vegas, and then all along the Arizona border. They're starting to see the monsoons come up, which is good, which means the meteorologist has come out and said that, yeah, we are definitely in a full swing El Nino down there in the ocean, and it's tagging up a lot of that heat and all that's coming up into Southern California. There are a couple of hurricanes and whatnot cruising, or I would say tropical storms, as they say, or depressions are coming off and heading out into the ocean, firing them off like a machine gun. So one of those just needs to make a right-hand little curve and land right into Southern California. Remember the one we almost had, hurricane, I don't know, 2 or 4 years ago or something that happened down over here? So we're there now. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, that one ain't going to work. That one ain't going to work. I got to give you, that one ain't going to work, guys. Here we go. Try this one. That one will work a lot better.
84 in Omaha. 97 today. Ooh, I've been to Omaha, yeah.
Omaha, Nebraska?
And like Shawnee, Oklahoma, and all those places, yeah. Shawnee, yeah, Oklahoma, yeah. Been out there, bunch of little podunk places out there. 89 in Corpus Christi with a 100. Corpus Christi. I get more coffee because I need more pronunciation.
Well, Wheezy said the monsoon started weeks ago in Arizona. Interesting. Yeah.
Well, it's starting to fire up as the starting to accelerate is my point.
Well, for here, it's beautiful 80 degrees and only 50% humidity, which for us, that's low because usually it's very, very high, very, very much higher.
I got to go pin the show, pin.
70, 80. What's going on there, Barron? Hello there. Hello there, Mickey Johnson. Hello there.
Just to let everybody know, we do exit song for you guys. You can pick whatever song you want. You could copy and paste it out into the chat, and then come back and you want to vote on those particular songs at the end of the show. So as the show goes on, recommend to head over to this Twitter feed out there, drop a song, like a song, come on back, check it out.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it now.
Things are getting fun, dude. Lots of exposures lately. Lots of exposure, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. And I think they're starting to get the whole of government approach out there, at least as far as the reporting. Now we're starting to see the stuff on the inside as far as like internal communications and, oh, we were just doing what we thought was best for the country because of that, that nasty Trump, he didn't know what he was doing. We had to protect the country from him.
You mean like what? Well, we'll get to that, but you mean like James Clapper was saying, we only did what Obama ordered us to do.
Yeah.
And John Kerry said the same thing over in Ukraine. Remember that? Yeah, good times.
What am I going to do? Ignore the commander-in-chief who tasked me and Jim Comey to do all this Russia investigation stuff. But I think the key part that people need to realize, right, is that the fact that they knew it was all bullshit. Right? They all knew it was BS, and you even had the handwritten notes from John Brennan back then saying, "Oh, Human Source talks about how this Russian plan was essentially a way to vilify Donald Trump by linking him to Russian intelligence," and they knew that, right? And so it's like they continued on with it. That's what I think the broader part of the world needs to understand. But again, some of these idiots out there just like, oh, Trump's whining about 2020 still. Like they don't see what a big deal it is,
Well, it's how well they've institutionalized the fortification of the 2020 election. Again, we got to hand it to the people that are instituted in these spots that have the craft and the artwork and the know-how and the fortitude to get these types of things done. They're very well-oiled, very organized machine, and we got to give them credit where credit is due. You can have as much evidence as you want, and a bunch of people want to go and prosecute and all that, but until you tip the scales in the other direction, it's never going to move because nobody's thinking, well, I'm not going to do that again because the last guy who did that did 20 years in Leavenworth. So maybe that's not a good idea to do. Until we get to that point, yeah, we're still going to be playing games with the right people. And it comes down to is how much are they going to expose? What are we exactly going to see? And how much jail is there actually going to be?
Mm-hmm. They need to make examples. And, if nobody is made an example of, to your point, then, who cares about doing stuff like this in the future? Who cares? Oh, I got a slap on the wrist. I changed an email to say that this guy was not ever a human source of the United States. I changed it because he was, and then I get essentially a slap on the wrist. I lose my law license, but then seconds. I get it back. Yeah, sure. But then I get it back, and all this, that, and the other. So it's definitely something that they need to make it known. And that's kind of the thing with the changing of everything. We got that feel of Americana with the 250th anniversary of our country, right?
Resurgence.
Resurgence. A lot of memories though of things in the way they used to be, right? And so, had you broke the same story that we are right now, say in Kennedy's era, it would be a much bigger deal because people had more respect for the office of the presidency, not just the person that's in the office. So whether they think the person's good or not, they're going to resist or not.
Well, back then, people were definitely afraid of being called a communist there back then at that point. If we really think about what was going on in the timelines and who was protesting what side and all that, they were trying to get rid of the communism and that socialism because, we didn't beat out the Weather Underground and some of those guys until the early 70s until they moved on to CEO positions, and they figured that throwing a bomb in the Senate is not a good idea, but it's a lot easier to wield the power as CEO of a company.
Yep, they got smart. And, the idea, of course, is because they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been in control for far too long, far too long.
Well, you want to end the show now? Do some thank yous and see you guys later.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Well, just a programming note. I'll be probably leaving a little earlier than normal, maybe 3:00, maybe 3:30. But so my cousin who I grew up with came actually back to Rhode Island from Missouri, and he's actually retired Air Force for 20 years. He did 20 years in the Air Force, and so me and him grew up going camping and stuff with my grandmother. And so the last time I saw him was when my son was 3 years old, and his son was, I think, 2. So they're here to visit, and they're actually taking my uncle, helping him move back to Missouri with my cousin there. So probably the last time he's going to be in Rhode Island unless he visits. And so I'm going to go meet up with him a little bit later. And also, my son got home late last night from being with the in-laws for the month. So he's actually doing a little top golf with his friend right now. And then when he gets back and I link up with the cousin, we'll figure out more towards 3:30 what time I have to leave. But definitely don't want to miss hooking up with my cousin. A lot of good memories. He was one of the cousins that I went camping with me, my 2 brothers, and my 2 cousins. He was one of them. So a lot of very fond memories growing up camping. And dude, I still don't know how my grandmother did it. Like she had 5, 6 of
They're
us
old school,
all the time.
bro.
Yeah, I mean she was in the Army. My grandmother was in the Army as a nurse, and then when she retired, she was a nurse for her whole life. And I remember in like the 80s, driving up and down the East Coast, she had one of these old baby blue 1970s like Dodge Econoline vans, right? And I can remember, being stuck on the side of the road in like Virginia, having to do like a flat tire or something like that. But many great memories, up and down the East Coast. She took us from Maine to Florida, down to Virginia, a little bit more west, but essentially we stayed to the coast. But man, how she had the energy to take 5 of us, and I've said this before with her sister, who we always called Aunt Doris, but she was always the hammer. Grandma was the fun one, and Aunt Doris was the serious one. But I don't know how they did it, dude. The 2 sisters took us little nightmares out camping all the time.
Well, I always remember my grandparents, because they grew up on the farm and those types of things, that they would always go for a drive. Like, you go over their house and they got broadcast TV because it's back in the day back then, and you're over at grandparents, so there's no friends and none of your whole room and toys and all that. So you had to figure it out, right? So the other thing they like to do is go for a drive. Where? Well, let's drive 2.5 hours one direction and go see something for an hour or so, get in the car and drive back. That was just something they'd like to do, whether it was dinner or they went out for a lunch, or, went to lunch in some sort of like museum thing and got in the car and drove back. It's something normal. We'd be gone like 6-7 hours, and have a 4-hour car ride. Okay. Whatever.
I mean, dude, and I remember you used to very much enjoy sleeping over the grandparents' house, and the funny thing is, thinking back, I'm like, they had a little race car thing downstairs for us, like one of those little Tyco tracks. But other than that, there was not much there. Thinking back, right? They had some sodas in the fridge downstairs and like a little racetrack for us. But other than that, it was just like, getting something new, something outside the normal of like sleeping at your own house, So we always look forward to sleeping over, even though thinking back, there was nothing, like, oh, there was no big spectacle there other than the grandparents, of course.
Yeah. What else do I remember about the grandparents I find funny? They like yogurt a lot. I remember opening their yogurt, like the little Yoplait things with the little red cap on the top. The foil cap you'd rip off the top. They'd be all the different flavors in there. I remember a lot of the times, I don't know why I remember this, but opening up the refrigerator and the top shelf was filled with these things, like every flavor you could possibly think. Like somebody went to the grocery store and like bought the entire shelf of Yoplait yogurt, whatever it is, and then put it in the refrigerator. I mean, we're talking like 4 high, and like I'm little, so I can't even see the back of the display to see how far it goes back. But I know it's at least 4 high because I have to go on my tippy toes to grab the one at the top. Just shit like that.
Fond memories. Very much so.
And of course, they had the whole backyard with an orange tree that had probably the best oranges on it, and they had a strawberry bed with the legs that were dipped in oil, so the snails and all the bugs couldn't crawl up the legs and get into the strawberries. It was a cool place. They even had a pepper tree, ground pepper and all that shit. I didn't know it was a thing either, folks.
I got a maybe a funny, and I never posted it, dude, because, and this is just a memory thing, I guess, right? Or a memories thing. And I don't know if I ever posted it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I saw this movie. They made a movie out of. Did you see this like Faces of Death movie that they have now? And so
I haven't seen the new one. No.
Yeah, so they made them, and I haven't seen it either. But essentially, they're promoting it as, "Oh my God, this woman found this video of people dying in real deaths in all these different ways." And I started a post on Twitter that I don't think I ever put out. I put something along the lines of, "Oh, what's next? I was playing Manhunt in my neighbor's backyard, and he shot me with a salt pellet gun." Things from my memories. Like, dude, they're making movies out of things we did as kids. Like, they had those nasty Faces of Death movies, and now they're like making a whole big production out of it. And yeah, I unfortunately did watch some of those. Ugh.
Yeah, I remember watching it on, what was it, bangedup.com? Or what was the other one? There was another one back in the late 90s that was out there. They were putting all that stuff on there. Those places.
World Star, something like that.
Not World Star. Definitely not World Star.
My favorite one was the guy that had his wife and kid, I think, held in the house for like a hostage situation, and then he comes running out of the house with like a shotgun or a rifle, and like the whole SWAT team's right there, and it's just like, it's like, yeah, not a good idea, buddy. But yeah, there was some. Wait,
wasn't that on the 11 o'clock news last night?
I know, right? Things that, well, I'll tell you what wasn't. This dude was being chased by the police, and he tried to jump over some like spiked fence, and his body made it over somehow, but his head didn't. And somehow his head stayed on the pike, and the body fell on the other side of the fence. I don't know how the hell that happened, but that was a pretty disgusting one to watch as well.
Yeah, keep your head on your shoulders. All right, enough of that stuff. I don't know how we got into the crazy stuff.
Memories.
Should we do a little bit of music crap that I found really quick before we do some other stuff and get into the all the other fun jazz I got all lined up for you guys? We do a little music stuff here since we came with a little music. Sure. I don't know if I played this. Did I play this for you?
Would you think I'm gay? No, I have not seen this yet.
So it's just that it's close. It's like a Weird Al Yankovic thing, and some people figure it out and some people don't. Let's go for it. Again, yeah, I like stupid humor shit like that. Yes, I find that quite amazing that you're able to pull that off and not be kicked out of the store or the restaurant.
Rearing Brandon. Oh, boy.
I just thought it was funny. And then I ran by this. And yeah, hold on to your hats, boys and girls.
Men only want one thing, and it's not money, it's not power, it's mariachi meta, hey! Men only want one thing, and it's.
I mean, it works. I mean, it caught my attention. Mariachi metal, anytime. Better than the regular one. What do you think?
I thought I was going to go into her being like shutting my mouth. Just kidding. But no, that was good. They always have the tambourines or accordions. What's that sound? Is it always an accordion that I hear with Mexican music?
Yeah, the mariachi. They're always going to have the horns, and then it's pretty good. The guitar, the big bass, all that, the oompa music, oompa oompa. But anyways, here's your last one right here. We're not going to play the whole song, but might as well get into it because some of these I just find quite interesting. There, don't get fooled again. Interlude there, just a little bit for everybody out there. So I just find it interesting and entertaining, folks.
Wow.
Humans are great.
There was something missing in that, and I can't picture the sound that I'm missing from the original. Maybe
the guitar?
Better drums.
Well, yeah, they're playing on kid toys. That's the whole thing.
I know, I'm kidding. The roots.
What else do we got as highlights out here? Let's go and stop by this pretentious this is The Economist that they picked up over the UK, and they probably picked up the most pompous person I could possibly think of to interview Elon Musk. And I don't think it went very well for her. I'm not going to play any clips of it besides this one. Any particular comments you would like to throw out about her interview style?
Bitchy.
Bitchy.
I mean, you just gotta look at her face right there to see. I mean, you should play it, dude. He torched her. It was great.
So she does have the resting bitch face. So let's get right to the video.
This part.
I think he's absolutely right, 100%. He also comes out. He's, she asked some question about, nobody likes you. He's all, well, there's 250 million people following me on my platform right there. So there's a big chunk of people who like me.
True, right? And you're right. She got absolutely torched, but it's 100% true. And how do the people that support the Democrats right now, how can they sleep at night and see what they're seeing and not wake up from it, right? Because it's literally the same thing, right? Go back and listen to Obama, Clinton, all these other people from 8-10 years ago. What are they saying? All illegals need to go. We need to. I even put a clip of Schumer the other day talking about, we need to get legal immigration so that way we're not overburdened by the flood of these people coming in, and basically use a workforce of people. So, I agree, we need to have immigration coming in and people to do work for, but not flooding the system. And then of course you put the whole caravan thing on top of it, and it's just dude, come on.
Well, the other thing I want to, since that video has lit off the internet here, and I ran by this one, it's a 6-minute video, but this gentleman goes to the black college students and it starts asking them questions that delineate whether they're going to be Republican viewed or a Democrat viewed political ideology. And a lot of these people didn't know what they're getting into, and they listened to the slapstick soapbox bullshit of the message, and then they realize they're on the wrong team. You ready for some of this?
Oh, I love stuff like this. Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Did I just shock you?
Yeah.
Did I just explode your world?
That's embarrassing.
No, why is that embarrassing? I'm Ami Horowitz, and nearly 90% of black people have voted for the Democratic Party over the years. But do their ideals match their voting patterns? I'm here in Los Angeles Southwest Community College to ask students to take a blind political test about the top 10 issues facing our country today. Do you identify as more of a Republican or more of a Democrat?
I'd say more Democrat.
You identify more as a Democrat?
Yeah.
Democrat.
I guess you could say I grew up a Democrat.
Should a woman be able to get a late-term abortion?
No.
I say yes. I feel like it's their body.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, you should make that decision before the baby forms.
Should we spend more time and effort stopping illegal immigration or less time and effort?
Yeah, we should be spending more time on it.
Okay.
I feel like less.
Should parents have more control over education or should the government have more control over education?
Parents.
Parents. The government.
Probably government.
Okay.
To have money and stuff like that.
Okay.
The government assists people.
Should there generally be higher taxes or generally be lower taxes?
Lower taxes.
Low taxes. Low taxes.
go low taxes. I gotta go low
You gotta go with what you believe. Get your gut, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I believe less.
I feel like lower.
Lower taxes.
Lower tax.
Lower tax.
My personal economics, my personal finances is important.
Should we generally
I'm
have
surprised.
more policing or less policing?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
It's effective policing more.
Have more police.
I would say more police.
Should we allow children to medically transition?
I think it cancel.
I think we should wait until they know more.
Your body, your decision. Do what you want with your body.
Okay.
Hell no. Hell no.
You don't need to think about that.
Yeah, hell no. I didn't even think about that one.
Should we allow males who transition to females compete against women in sports?
Yes.
I say no. Should we allow males to transition? Fuck no. Hell no.
No, it's not fair.
Yeah, like the Leah Thomas,
Exactly.
situation. Yeah, no, not at all. He was like 500 with the males and then number 1 with the women.
Dominated.
Yeah, it's
Dominated.
ridiculous. Yeah, there are physiological differences between males and people, males and females.
Do we spend more money on social programs and have higher debt, or less money on social programs and reduce the debt?
We need to reduce the debt, less money into social programs. Reduce our country's debt.
More money.
More money.
A lot of people need it.
I would say less.
Should someone show an ID to vote? To show who they are?
Absolutely.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
More regulations and higher taxes to stop climate change, or less regulations and lower taxes and spur the economy?
Less. Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
No, spend some time really thinking about this.
You got this,
I'm
bro.
marinating on the question.
Okay.
Take your time, man. No hurry.
Marinate.
Less.
I think we should help climate change.
So you ready to find out what you are?
Yeah.
You ready?
Oh, there's a result at the end.
Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, 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 Democrat, Republican, Republican, Republican. That's a big R. That's a big R. That's a big R. That's a big R. Republican, 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 Democrat, Republican, 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 Democrat on abortion, Republican on immigration, gender Republican, spending Republican, vote right here Republican. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are 60% Republican. You are also 60% Republican. You are more Republican than Democrat.
70? Oh, wow.
You are 70% Republican. 60% Republican. You are 60% Republican. You are 70% Republican and 30% Democrat.
It's crazy.
You are 80% Republican.
I think I might be Republican.
You might be Republican.
That's the people that help themselves, right? They
Yeah.
help themselves.
Correct.
I mean, we can help ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's why I love this experiment.
So does that surprise you?
Yes, it does.
I'm shocked. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Is that surprising?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah?
That is.
Does it make you rethink kind of like when you see issues in elections, kind of looking
He
more
looks like
closely at
Urkel
what
a
people
little bit.
believe?
A little
opposed to
bit.
what the letters next to their name?
Yeah.
That's how you're taught.
Yeah.
It's like political inheritance.
Exactly. We can't really identify until we start to educate ourselves.
Republicans are, it's associated with whiteness. Like even when Black Americans identify as Republicans,
Right.
they get like knocked for for siding with them. I'm so glad I got to do this.
So I generally don't do wrap-ups after the videos, but for this one, I felt I had to. We literally did not find a single Black person on this campus who, when given a blind political test, aligned more with Democrats than Republicans. Not a single person.
That was awesome, dude. I love that comment out there. Somebody put it out there. Wonder Monkey says, those are the people that help themselves, right? Oh my God. That's pretty impressive. What do you think, dude?
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it would have been actually a little bit higher percentages, but yeah, it's interesting, only 60 or 70%, but that most of them, and like the guy said there, he goes, historically you think of Republican as white and, Democrat as black, and it's like, well, that's because they fooled people into, oh, well, that's when they changed they changed parties. You know, I forget when they even said they did it, but no, that was that. Then they switched parties, so it really wasn't the Democrats that started all this nasty stuff. No, it was. Sorry, it was.
Chris Souse is in the chat, says, Q Rhetoric, happy birthday Saturday. So happy birthday if it's your birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Q Rhetoric. Birthday to you.
Awesome. Because the other thing is the political change that we've seen in the United States, that a lot of the times it seems like, you know, that a lot of the Republicans, some of the Republicans have moved into the spot where the Democrats used to be, as the Democrats move more farther left to this Democrat socialist idea. Some of them pick up the communism that's out there. So it's interesting to see that that sector move and then have to respond, and they're stuck. Like, these people are stuck with the label that doesn't represent them anymore, which is going to be interesting in the midterms.
You know what I'm doing, right? I'm literally taking the last 15 seconds of his wrap up there, and I'm sending it to our favorite Democrat friend. Because I sent him the video, because I'm like, hey, watch this, make this make sense. And then I have to resend the clip to him, because I said, because I know you're not going to watch the whole 5-minute clip, here, just watch this 15 seconds.
What part did you send him?
The part where he says, in the whole campus, we did not find one African-American student that, when given a blind political test, aligned more with Democrats than Republicans. Whoops.
In L.A., Marin Bass County, right there. Yep. Yeah, so California is not all that crazy. It's just the people that drive the bus are crazy. Long as we're getting there. What else do we got here to talk about? We did that one there.
We just woke up this week to...
Okay, everybody remembers Pastor, and I wasn't paying attention to this particular problem out there. But yeah, we got a huge problem with GPS. Did you hear about it? I've heard inklings of it, but I wasn't paying too much of attention to it. But do you know anything about our GPS?
Actually, only because one of 18 had sent me an email the other day. Do I know about some GPS issues where apparently China's been helping? They allege maybe China's been helping Iran, I think, with some of this stuff, and they built their own. They built their own GPS system, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, we have a new standard that we need to get to. So let's get into the video.
Find out that we're not safe anywhere in the Middle East. We're not safe anywhere in the Pacific because we can't stop the Beidou 3 system. We have to learn about it now. In fact, I saw today at Jane's Defense, JANES, that they said it's going to take the United States somewhere between, we will possibly have a response by the mid-2030s. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a good thing. Our GPS systems is what detects things, and then we take care of it. And we can also, because we created GPS, we know how to jam it. The reason why the Iranians have been hitting us lately is because we haven't been able to jam it because they're using Beidou 3. There are rumors, you can read about it, this is not secret, that the technology that is used with a key component to the United States stealth aircraft system incorporates special versions of GPS. Of course, the aircraft have critical angles, the way that they're created, and special type, they call it skin. The aircraft has radar absorbing materials. Beidou 3 is not affected by that stuff. See, what are you saying? Stealth technology doesn't work with Beidou 3. That means you can see an F-22 and an F-35. We just got done boasting that we can come and go as we please and nobody can see us. That was true a couple of weeks ago. It's not true now, ladies and gentlemen. All these years of our political leaders playing games, funding all kinds of stupid things that didn't matter to your protection and national security. We can fund the international research program of gay frogs, but we fail to update our GPS to compete against Beidou 3.
So, yeah, we're kind of screwed here at this point with the new advanced technology that a lot of the other countries are using. Even though we smashed the shit out of Iran, they could still see everything that's flying around there at that point. And that's also why Trump came out with that tweet just recently, because they did hit the northern side of Iran on the other port, which they normally been staying on the east, west, and south side. They hit all the way up and hit some ships that were up in that bay area there, because there was assumption that Russia was bringing, or somebody was bringing weapons to support. So we went up there and blew a bunch of stuff up over there, and that's why Trump has said between Iran and China that you should not be helping, or sorry, between China and Russia should not be helping Iran with weapons. Or else you're going to pay a very steep, heavy price. So things to be paying attention to.
Yes, and this is part of the back and forth I was having the other day. It says China and Iran have had a long-standing military relationship. Iran has sought to reduce its dependence on U.S.-controlled GPS system by adopting China's Beidou navigation system. 2021 reports indicated China granted Iran broader access to Beidou services as part of expanding military cooperation. So, yes, they could be using this. And again, this is reporting from uscc.gov, but they're reporting from 2021. So this stuff that we're getting publicly, dude, like, you know as well as I do, you know, they're not telling any of us what the real latest technology that we have is, right? So I think... my guess is that they do have better technology than the F-35s and the whatever with the traditional stealth capabilities. That would be my guess, just because I think we're ahead of the curve as far as with technology. They never tell us about things until like they've had it for a long time, essentially. But yeah, definitely something to be concerned about and think about, and really outside the box type of thinking.
Maybe they'll finally get around to using some of that MH370 technology there. Maybe make Iran disappear. What else do we got over here for you? Oh, we might as well take a quick step by the guy who set the front of this building on fire in New York.
He is currently in custody, and he has been interviewed. Arabak is a former United States Army soldier. He was enlisted for approximately 4 years, serving from 2001 to 2005. He was a repairman or mechanic on Patriot missile systems. He is 43 years old. There were injuries in this. 3 people were injured, minor injuries, 1 civilian and 2 government employees. He is currently...
So he just decided to walk up one of the government buildings and basically try to set it on fire, and then pulled out an airsoft rifle and act like he was going to start shooting people. Yeah, so there's your political ideology for you.
Wow. Former U.S. Army soldier as well.
So just wanted to throw that out there because they kind of glass over those things pretty quickly out there. Oh, look, we got people posting over here. Do you guys get a chance?
Yay.
Going to my 50-year high school reunion today. I had to put a song in from 1976. What did you pick? What did you pick?
I see.
Oh, I'll put it in Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, dude. Rock on, dude. Let's see what else you guys put out there.
Very young. Chemical Brothers?
Leonard Skinner, Freebird. I don't know, dude. I've heard that too many times, dude. I dig the song, but holy crap. That's like playing like Stairway to Heaven over and over and over again. Ooh, Out of Control Chemical Romance. We even got Black Sabbath War Pigs with a good video. Looks like a great video over there. You guys rock. I always like those, dude. I appreciate you guys going and finding those great little video clips and all those things. We'll get to that one later. Let's get into some election stuff, and especially what Harmy Dillon's been talking about over here. So like the first immediate things that we know we see a lot that they're doing is going to charge Secretary of State offices for having illegal immigrants on the voter rolls themselves. We have court cases of getting the states that have not complied yet to comply, or they're going to lose funding. Which is going to be interesting because there's that tipping point where it's finally going to fall off the cliff and there's no choice, and they will have to turn over the information on the voter rolls. And if they continue to leave those people that are legal immigrants on said voter rolls, then the people who facilitated the fraud will have federal charges. That's basically what's their plan, or Harvey Dillon's plan, is to get that particular thing done. And you want to mention anything before I play the video?
Nope. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. But I guess I will add the fact that all of these Democrat states, if there's nothing illegal going on, then why won't they give the information as far as the funding for A, B, C, and D? And rather than just sitting there complaining that, oh, they're going to withhold funding from my state because, some political stuff. It's like, no, if everything's on the up and up, let's just have it all. But of course they don't want to.
Let's go.
Do you plan to take this fight to the Supreme Court?
Well, we do. It's actually closer to 30 states. 20 states have given us their voter rolls voluntarily, and we've found hundreds of thousands of people on those voter rolls who shouldn't have been there. Now, since the governor made this announcement, we've opened up an investigation. We asked her to disclose to us the names of the 6,600 individuals who were wrongfully put on the voter rolls, and then the 400 who voted knowing that they weren't entitled to. And today she hasn't responded to us yet, but she did tell the New York Times and others in New Jersey that she wasn't going to give us that information because, quote unquote, we would weaponize it, and she doesn't trust us with the data. Well, who can't be trusted with data, Governor Cheryl? It seems like it's actually New Jersey, because these people said they weren't entitled to vote, and then you put them on the voter rolls in your state, blaming the vendor, calling it a glitch, etc. It is the job of the election officials, not some data vendor, to determine citizenship when they put people on the voter rolls. That's federal law. And it also sounds like, Liz, the state allowed these people to stay on the voter rolls for more than a year after they knew that they weren't legally entitled. That is a violation of federal law, too, federal criminal law. So we're looking at this very carefully.
There we go. So they're going down that road out there. We got lawyers and court cases, and hopefully they can wrap a lot of this stuff up, because there are other cases that are moving through the system that are involved with election integrity too, especially over in Georgia.
Big time. I'm loving it. And again, if there's nothing to hide, then why are you, not providing the information? That simple.
So you had dropped this uncovered document showing a Berlin-based network steering foreign donors towards $19 million Hillary-linked voter operation designed to change the outcome of national elections to generate 200,000 plus votes in key races. Just $94 a vote. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Freedom to vote can receive funds from both U.S. and foreign donors of the nonpartisan that's always nonpartisan organization under U.S. tax law, because that's how it works. It can receive funds from both U.S. and foreign donors. Yeah, there's their pitch and all that. And then you had put up there after exposing the Europe-based NGO for telling foreigners to donate millions to a Democrat voter mobilization operation to change the outcome of the 2026 midterms in the U.S. cost $94 per vote. The files on the website were deleted. So wait,
again, right?
That's how much they're investing for, because who's sending $94? Who's getting the $94 if they're doing that? Because this NGO is sending money. Is it they're sending it directly to the Democratic voter mobilization, or they're trying to get Europeans to do this, other Europeans to donate money?
Yes. So
the only thing I'm not sure.
So they're getting apparently NGOs to pay for this, it looks like. But so if you have 200,000 times 94, that's $18.8 million right there. But if my calculator's math is right here. 200,000 times 94 times 94, one more time. Yeah, $18.8 million. But again, they deleted the website. The files are gone. Why?
Because they got to hide their tracks, pretty much. Let's get into whatever they're talking about over here. House Ways and Means Commissions subpoenaed 3 hard left NGOs after they took $39 million from Chinglag's Marxist tycoon, Neville Singham. Why does that sound familiar, Neville Singham?
Oh, yeah. He's been one of the major funders of the anti-Trump shtick. He's out of Shanghai. He's a billionaire, allegedly American billionaire living in Shanghai, and he's, right up there with George Soros as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, really? Let's get into it.
House panel now investigating the money trail of 3 far-left nonprofits. The issue here is whether a Marxist millionaire based in Shanghai gave them tens of millions of dollars. Lucas Tomlinson on that today out of D.C. What'd you find out, Lucas?
Good morning, Bill. The powerful House Ways and Means Committee wants to know how 3 of these left-wing nonprofits obtained more than $39 million from alleged Marxist tech tycoon Neville Singham. One Republican China hawk calls Singham a traitor and wants the Justice Department, who's launched an investigation, to lock him up.
Wow.
This money comes from China, ties to the Chinese Communist Party, our biggest adversary in America, the Chinese Communist Party. And this guy, who is an American, but he lives in China. All of the billions of dollars that he's made come from Chinese Communist Party tech companies that are using him to funnel money to fuel left-wing violence in America.
Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith has issued subpoenas to 3 nonprofits called the People's Forum, Breakthrough News, and Tri-Continental Institute for Social Research, all left-wing organizations who Smith says failed to turn over documents voluntarily. Lawmakers are investigating whether shell companies were used to obscure the origin of the money and where existing tax-exempt laws properly guard against foreign influence. One expert tells Fox part of the problem is with this opaque world of some nonprofits.
The nonprofit system was really set up to help Americans help other Americans and not have to pay taxes to do that. So I think that the fact that you now have foreign entities that have taken such a significant interest in our nonprofit system should raise a red flag.
Now, all the organizations accused deny any wrongdoing and argue this infringes on their First Amendment rights. Recall Whittaker Chambers' warnings about communism in his best-selling autobiography, Witness, written in 1952, Bill.
Oh, noted. Thank you, Lucas. Love the history. House
Yeah. Plenty of history out there. Comments?
Yep. It's just another.
Surprised?
No, not surprised. And, I know you've seen this guy's name numerous times over the last many years. And he's definitely one of the bigger people. We had George Soros, and then we got Alex Soros. But he's up there. He's definitely one of my top 10s, like Mark Elias and Hillary Clinton and Roy Neville Singham, George Soros, those type of folks. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah? You know what? We should do this one. Just since you mentioned Mark Elias, we should do.
You know what his dog's name is, right? Blue.
What? Okay, we're not going to play this whole video, but they're doing shit down in Arizona, Georgia, to change the way that they're using the voting systems, and then they're basically using a program they call Ellie that allows them to take publicly available information, coalesce it with what the mail office has
power
and be able to find the discrepancies. The mail office themselves that says the numbers between, I think he said it's between 6 and 8%. When they run their audits, and they were going to be able to find people that are not supposed to be vote there and vote here and all those sort of things. They're finding that the LE system is more of between 25 and 30% of finding the errors that's out there. So what's basically happening is the government of Georgia wants to, Brad Raffensperger has ordered the districts to use this LE program to go and find out if these people are actually validly living at these addresses themselves. He sends a letter to the certain districts and goes, okay, we think you got 150,000 over there. We got some issues over here at these PO boxes, colleges, a dirt lot, shit like that. So once you go ahead and just take a look, run it through the system itself, verify, and then return the results back to the Secretary of State's office. That's all we want you guys to do, is just to go look, because we think there's fraud. Well, Mark Elias and the rest of the group totally freaked out and is basically trying to discredit this entire system, saying that, you know, it's privacy this and they're hacking that and it's not accurate information and you got to go with this and that. And basically, the people that run the program answer back and basically fight every talking point that they're coming back with, because they're basically saying it's within standards of what they say in 2004 or 2010. The Academy of Science had a methodology that they put out that if they were going to do voter fraud and all that, that this is the way that you would want to go through and check it. And this is the methodology so you should use. So this guy developed an entire company. That's all they do is use these standards that were put out by 2010 by the actual U.S. government, saying this is how it should be done. And then in 2025, the people who run the federal elections endorsed it and goes, yes, this is absolutely correct. 100%. This is the way that all local elections should have their voting rolls purged, is in this way. It's a good manner. It's all publicly. And there's a whole bunch of tests that they've done on it. So again, they're going to do the first one over here in Georgia. And Mark Elias and the rest of the group are absolutely freaking out. And they're like, they're going to remove voters and this and that. And they're like, we're not removing any voters. We're just looking at the data, making a suggestion. And then the powers that be, Secretary of State's office, the clerk of the county, those are the people that have to make the determination to remove voters from the roll itself. We just give them the information, and that's all we're offering with publicly available information. So that's what's happening over here down in Georgia, and they're freaking the F out right now.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why, though. Why is he always, let me get this out of here. Why is he always, causing crap? And, not only that, dude, but he's bragged about it. Like in his posts, he basically says, we've brought X amount of lawsuits against the Trump administration since this year and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, why? If all this... if all this stuff's on the up and up, then why do you need all these legal lawsuits? And why are you right here? DOJ is 0-17, 0-8 before Trump appointed judge. He's 0-1 in the courts of appeal. You might think the right wing would take time to reflect on this. So it's like you made 25 lawsuits against this dude, 26 lawsuits against this guy, and it's like nobody else can see. I just can't see it. It's like a plot of a movie, right, where everybody's out to get that one person that ends up being the good guy, but none of these idiots can see it.
So just a reminder, Brad Raffensperger, who is the Secretary of State under Joe Kemp, runs the elections there, is the one that's requesting that this gets done. Not some NGO, not some Republican group. The actual Secretary of State's office says, yeah, we're going to go take a look. Here's their reply on some of the information they're using, because this is AI-powered tool that they're using.
Addresses against a commercial third-party database. And they said, third-party data may be an additional new tool to become even more accurate. Their contention from the Democracy Democrats saying that third-party data is improper is not actually even reconcilable with the fact the government says the opposite. And the model that the EAC studied is literally the model that we use. Our system is to flag, verify, and then pass it off for compliance with the NVRA. We produce an indicator, qualified officials verify, every step after that follows the law. So they are mad that this is now available. The EAC study confirms that this flag then verify approach is correct, and it's the right way to use third-party data. And our data is way more comprehensive than theirs. He says that public records are frequently outdated. But that's not what the EAC says. In its pilot, the commercial third-party data outperformed the U.S. Postal Service National Change of Address System, returning potential new addresses for 12 to 21% of the records, compared with 2% to 7% under the Postal Service system. And what we got from the public data was even more accurate and included newer addresses than the Postal Service did. Now, at the same time, most submitted addresses were already in the current voter system, and the process does not indiscriminately flag eligible voters. It just isolates a smaller subset for follow-up. And that is intended to keep eligible voters correctly registered. And so, very nice response, and they're going through bit by bit. They say the software is unreliable. They say, no, we're not. Third-party and public records data is actually better, and public records are even superior for list maintenance. So it's not inherently flawed. Mark's an idiot. The EAC's empirical findings are the exact opposite of what they claim. They say it's outdated, incomplete, or inconsistent. Nope. It is more current and it's more comprehensive than the National Change of Address form. And so the Elias Law Group's claim that these totals sweep large numbers is not even borne out by the federal study. They also say they're going to flag eligible people. And they say, by the way, flagging a record is not a finding of ineligibility. It's not disenfranchising somebody to just say this might be a problem. In the model that the EAC studied, the same model that Ellie uses, a flag triggers contact before an activation or removal. We follow total compliance with federal law. The safeguard against the wrong flag is built into both the EAC's practice and the way that we handle these things. So we don't make removals. All of this is authorized. The government makes the removals. And so we have now given you the background on this.
So just an FYI, some of the things they're arguing against to stop this type of AI-powered tool. And if they get more of these in these states, especially in California, this is going to get interesting.
I love it. Oh, so this is one of these investigations, it seems, into the Democrats by a Democrat, essentially, or Raffensperger. I don't know if he claims to be Republican or not.
He is.
Yeah, and so very similar to the Gavin Newsom investigation that, air quotes, Donald Trump started and is going after him. That started under who? I forgot. That was...
Biden.
Oh, that was the Biden administration. That's funny how that works. That's really... Oh, wait, hold on. Air quotes. The Biden administration did it. I don't know. I love it.
Exactly.
I like it. I love seeing this stuff being exposed, dude. And it's just funny to watch them like fight against their themselves, essentially. But, you know, they're going to keep doing what they do. Yeah.
So this guy's absolutely a great little breakdown of what it is. Oh, you know what? Is this the part he gets into what it does? Maybe it's a guy.
Someone says, I have not heard of Ellie. How is it? Glenn County. I guess I thought Ellie was HR. It's not. It's an election software. Does it use AI? Not generative AI. We'll show you how it works. And more clarifications on the distinct.
All right, enough of that. All right, we'll keep going.
Dude,
Let's keep going to some other stuff.
What do you think, dude? Should I have you give me the response, or maybe the folks in the chat can give me the response? Because as I am going back and forth with, I always go back and forth with him to try to get him to see the light of day. When I sent him that stuff about the kids on the campus there, he comes back with voter fraud. It's so rare that Donald Trump has been convicted of more felonies than the total number of confirming cases confirming illegal voting in the U.S. elections. Trump devotion syndrome. He gave me a pill bottle. That's actually pretty funny. Trump devotion syndrome rather than Trump derangement. Not bad. I gotta give him that. Was pretty good. The left's learning to meme, dude.
Well, they have to play on the same playing field, so they got to put down their crayons.
The left is learning to meme.
You should tell them that. You saw the left is learning to meme. I'm so proud of you.
That would just be like me writing something in Chinese to him. You know what I mean? He'd be like, huh? Say what? I don't get it.
Yeah, just throw it out there. Put it in there. The left is learning to meme. I'm so proud of you. And see what he says.
Wow.
All right, let's keep going. Now let's see if this is a video or those types of things out here. What are we going to talk about? Does it actually get an audio? No audio on the piece itself.
Whoops. We get this.
So this is a remote desktop active found on Fulton County Dominion server on the Skepson forensic report exposing critical security failures in Fulton County's Dominion machines. You really think? Yeah. Open external network interface. What's that?
I was just laughing. No, they don't connect to the internet. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Which includes activate enabled or remote desktop protocols, which the data routing to foreign networks, including IP addresses from Canada, destroying the air-gapped argument itself, because air-gap means it's not connected to anything other than power. There's no Wi-Fi, there are no chips for communication whatsoever, but they are there and they're installed by the factory themselves. Fulton County Fulton County, Pennsylvania, not Georgia, was then held in contempt for the secret voting machine probe, which resulted in the decertification of Fulton County machines by the Pennsylvania. I wonder if this is the one that they had their systems stolen. They had, remember, the USB key and the programming laptop and the other machines. Go take a quick look and see if this is the same area. County machines by Pennsylvania Secretary Commonwealth for conducting an independent audit and not forensic violations found. By July 22, forensic experts imaged the hard drive, the Fulton County, PA Dominion Systems equipment. 15th of 22, Spectre Forensics LLC laid out a series of serious security lapses, unauthorized changes, outdated protections, unexplained external connections. There's your internet, which raises major questions. Security hardening is incomplete. Multiple external USB insertions, because they do allow USB insertions if they're going to be taking what they call the poll data from the counting machines to the central tabulator. That's okay for them to do, but there are specific USBs that they're supposed to use, and all else are supposed to be locked out. They're supposed to have some sort of code. You plug it in there. Oh, this one's good to use. We can access this one. This one's, from Staples. No, it's not. We don't allow access to that. So that's what they're talking about. Serious post-installation changes, 900 DLL files, direct dynamic library files is what those are kind of called. They're kind of like instructions that are hidden on your computer. Default credentials and policies left in place. So yeah, don't put the password in. We're just going to leave it as password. So when you log it in the machine, you're just going to put admin, and then for the username, and below it, just put password. Unauthorized Python script after certification. This allows you to basically do programming on a computer through a terminal. That little C prompt everybody always sees. So you can go through in there and basically have AI copy and paste stuff right into a terminal right there. So that's for programming, and they can run stuff in a little container all by itself. So it has its own little ecosystem. Interconnects with network drives. That means you can share data across the network itself. So if you want to do it across all the tabulators that are in the particular state, you could. So just interesting things. Oh, they had Windows Defender dated to July 26. So don't need any updates after that. Don't worry about that. There hasn't been any changes.
Hey, Hulk, we got the 2016 security in there for Defenders. You think we should update it? Nah. I'm sure it'll be okay. Be fine. It's fine. And I did drop you a link. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, but...
What's that?
Laptop USB drive stolen from Philly election staging site. Computer thumb drives used to program Philadelphia voting machines were stolen from a city warehouse.
What city?
That said it was Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay.
This is out of Georgia.
Damn it! I was hoping it was going to be this one. I really hope it was going to be this Fulton County they're talking about, Pennsylvania.
Very
but
possible.
Just things I remember. What else do we got?
Boys back and calling me a minute.
That's that one. Nearly 150 mail-in ballots rejected, or largely due to missing mailing. What? Mail-in ballots of nearly 150,000 California voters were rejected by the state's June primary, according to Secretary of State's office. Ooh, the volume of rejected ballots in the spike over the recent elections, 108,982 mail-in ballots were rejected in 2024 and 105,000 in 2025. And the primary reason for the rejection number is the ballots are missing the deadline. Ooh, the cutoff date. I wonder if that 5-day deal. California is trying to make it easier to vote. Anyone to vote among the changes towards the goal is sending ballots to every registered voter and allowing the ballots to arrive at election office 7 days late and still be counted, provided the envelope is postmarked by election day. However, multiple changes over the years were intended to increase the turnout, done little to achieve, blah, blah, blah. The wire service reports doesn't include the definitive reason why hundreds of thousands of votes were rejected, citing only voting experts who suspect the main problem in postmark on ballots that came after Election Day, making them ineligible to be counted. The culprit could be the U.S. Postal Service changes that might affect the timing of when the postmarks are applied. Oh, yeah, let's blame it on them. That works out pretty good. Calls for California election officials on Friday to attempt to learn exactly why the ballots rejected were unsuccessful. 150, blah, blah, blah. That's a rate of 1.73% of mail-in ballots were rejected. So I wonder if they found that before or after they counted them all. Oh, we found them after. Yeah, sorry. No, we can't go back and look at those and do a forensic audit. Nope, sorry. Nope, definitely it wouldn't affect Spencer Pratt's election there in L.A. Don't worry about any of that.
It's all on the up and up. I promise you. It's all on the up and up.
So that's on that. I've seen a lot of this come out lately. There was even another video. I probably didn't grab it for today, where the guy goes back and does the same thing. And he goes and just searches by white, because a lot of people are trying to search for all these names. The guy's like, why are you doing it that way? Looking for all these weird names. Let's just sort the category to white, and then let's go by the list. And like 90% of them are not white. Oh, music. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a typical thing that is going on there. And I mean, out of the hundreds that I saw in this guy's videos, he was scrolling through, 90% of them were not white.
I mean, I got to say, a couple of them looked like they could pass as white, but, you know, like that dude, you know, maybe if he shaved his bushy eyebrows and the mustache down a little bit, fixed his hair up, he could probably pass for Italian.
And, yeah, got rid of the accent. Yeah. The Spanish accent. What
You're
else?
American, right? Sí, señorita.
You want to read this one then?
I'd love to read this one. Venezuela just withdrew from the International Criminal Court. That's interesting timing. Following President Trump and Marco Rubio's lead. Venezuela is turning based. They just told the globalists to screw. Time for more nations to follow suit. Welcome to the Donroe Doctrine. You know, it's like the Monroe Doctrine, but it's now the Donroe Doctrine. Venezuela has officially notified the United Nations, we're leaving and we're not coming back. Rubio earlier this month, quote, as we speak, the international courts and its friends are waging a war against our country, not with bullets or missiles, but with statutes and compacts and the force of so-called international law. Quote, they believe that they should be in charge of your laws, your country, your life, and they don't care whether you or not you agree. Halfway across this world, there is an institution that calls itself the International Criminal Court. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't. The chances are you don't know the names of its judges, of its prosecutors, or its president. It was a global tribunal staffed by unelected globalist bureaucrats who claim their power is almost unlimited. The danger of this global court has only continued to grow. It threatens every aspect of our political and legal system. Border Patrol agents removing violent criminals from our country, American Marines risking their lives to defend our homeland, prosecutors working to dismantle terrorist plots to attack and kill Americans. Quote, if we stand idle, all of them would be at the mercy of foreign judges thousands of miles away, facing the constant risk of prosecution and even imprisonment for the so-called crime of defending their own country. The American people never agreed to any of this, and they never will. Read the words of our Declaration of Independence. We fought a revolution against a foreign power, transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretend offenses. Independence is our birthright. We will never let foreign bureaucrats take that away from us. This administration will not sit by as the ICC and its allies seek to threaten our people. If they believe they can deprive us of our sovereignty, we will teach them the full meaning of American resolve. I like it.
Just as a reminder, the two countries that have not signed on to the ICC would be Russia and who's the other one there, Mr. Spaceshot?
I'm sorry, what was the question? Russia, America,
the two
US?
countries the two that didn't sign on for the ICC were Russia and
China and
US.
Venezuela. Oh, Russia, US. All right, so it's just Russia, the United States, and now Venezuela.
As far as I know, that they weren't actually a country, so they weren't part of the pack over here for the ICC. Remember, they're a dictatorship itself. But as of full-fledged First Nation countries, the two that did sign on to it and have to observe the court for the International Criminal Courts was the United States and Russia. They both put their finger up, said, "F you, we're not going to listen to you."
Like it. I likes it.
All right, so that's that. And then, what else are we going here? What was this one?
Oh, this is huge. Yeah, this is great, dude.
Let's see what she says.
In the last week, I've been speaking with a very senior member of Director Gabbard's investigations team known as the DIG. And what they told me is that they did see a pattern where there was a sense or a feeling in the intelligence community that they just knew better. They had to save President Trump from his own instincts, from his own tendencies, and that there was very much a globalist view, and they had to preserve a globalist view. So whether it was downplaying or suppressing intelligence about the threat from China, whether I've been speaking with a very senior member of Director Gabbard's investigations team.
Senior member of Tulsi Gabbard's team.
The dig team.
Who's DNI right now? Oh, yeah, it's Pulte here at this point. He's temporary there. I don't think they've made any changes. I'm just thinking. Because we know that the FBI and the lead FBI criminal, whatever, who's over at Microsoft right now, was hiding a lot of that information. And she's the one that came out that says, I feel like we're running a shadow government. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along.
Nothing to see here. Miss Follow the Pen.
What else did you throw out there? Oh, Chester County, Pennsylvania, the non-juror list contains 65 pages of non-citizens have been summoned for jury duty. This happening in Chester County is happening everywhere. Oh yeah, that happens in LA. Non-citizen, can't come over and do jury duty, but you're on the voter rolls. That's just crazy, dude.
I'm putting a word into the Discord right now that this video that I'm tagging here discusses. Right there, Bing. Blackmail Biden.
It's coming up here.
Okay.
I got it here somewhere. Okay, it's coming up.
Sure. Making sure. Just covering
That's
my
there.
bases.
I wanted to throw this out because California is also in the same thing here, and they're basically doing their quick little town hall also talking about some of the same issues.
When you go to the DMV and you get a driver's license or an ID, you register to vote, you do not need any citizenship to do that. When you get any benefits in the state of California, they send you a voter registration card. You do not need to show any ID or proof of citizenship to do that. Then you're on the voter rolls. Those voter rolls, they keep adding people on over and over and over again, and nobody's cross-referencing IDs on those voter rolls. So when you talk to Bob Page on a local level or any local registrar of voters, they're going to say, well, yeah, we've got a really great operation on site. We're just taking what Sacramento gives us in regards to the rules. We can't ask for ID on site, or we can't cross-reference ID. So the problem isn't ours anymore, right? It's that diffusion of responsibility. So the reality is Sacramento's got the problem in their hands, and they're avoiding it by pushing it around. So we need to, that's the manner in which we need to talk about this subject. It is 100% fact that you do not need to prove any citizenship to get voter registration in California.
To become a voter in California, all you have to do is check a box and say that, yeah, I'm legal. And they don't check, they don't ask, they absolutely nothing, and there is zero flags. The only reason the dog got caught in Orange County was because it voted in a federal election that does have the flags. So God knows our rolls in California are screwed, and we got to get them straightened up.
And another success is that last year we put it on the ballot and you guys voted for it. We're the only city in California that requires voter ID because of you guys.
I believe that's Huntington Beach, California down there. They're the one that won the lawsuit against the state of California because they were pushing for it, and the state of California Secretary of State's office and all that came in. And I think it was just shy of the Supreme Court decision, but they said, yeah, they have, the city itself has a choice of what they could do. So yeah, they won. So voter ID is required to vote, I believe, in Huntington Beach, California, this coming up primary.
Oh yeah. Tito Ortiz, the mayor there still or whatever? Or is that a short period?
No, they kicked him out. They kicked him out. They weren't going to allow that thing to come together. He was too wild for them. Okay, here's this. Anything you want to throw out? And how much should I actually play this? It is a 4-minute clip.
No. I just think it's interesting that they decided to do this. Is this now we're going to get the exposure of how much of a vegetable this guy was the whole time?
Yeah, did we get the interview tapes Chen was talking about from the FBI on the investigation? Maybe. Let's see what they have to say.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden or the cancer shot or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is
crack addict,
either been deployed or is dying.
Other one.
And so it was. And by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president.
Bo died in 2015, by the way.
Not a mean thing to say. I mean, he just thought that she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did. And so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. If I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die? May 30th, 2018. Was it 2015 he died?
May 2015.
I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think that was That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime.
I don't know if I want to keep listening to this. You want to give any comments on that, what he's saying here? Because they're just talking about the mishandling classified information that we heard about like 2 years ago.
What he's doing, he's laying, well, so basically what this guy's saying here is, he says they're banning the lawsuit, and he's just giving you an example of some of the clips that were in there, because we were given some of them, right? But or we had some of them essentially. But what they're doing there is that I started recording when they asked him the question, when he started talking. From there to when you just stopped, it was 1.5 minutes, and he barely said anything in there. And so, he starts off talking about 2017, 2018, right? Oh, that's right around the time when my son died, and all this was going on. And later on, you heard the guy say, "Is like, oh, it was 2015 that Bo died, right?" And it's like, how screwed up was this guy? Oh no, he was fit as a fiddle to run the country, guys. Absolutely, no problem.
Well,
so
the crux of this information is the 70 hours of recorded tapes that Biden gave interviews on. That they don't want released to show his cognitive decline out there. We only got small little slips of this. This is the one of the cases that went all the way up to the Supreme Court for the Missouri versus Biden type of thing, talking about these types of issues that the government was doing to hide frailties and the other things he was doing with the Penn Biden Center in China, and asking for an extra key for his dad, Hunter Biden, and then the Chinese conglomerate that paid a bunch of money into it. Yeah, that was totally great. Stuff like that.
Yep. Well, just imagine, dude. We just heard that, and that's stuff that we have heard before. We knew that he couldn't get the date right of his own son passing away, which, people think you wouldn't forget that, right? But we've heard this, and my question to you is, what's in these recordings that we have not heard? How much, is there a point where he just completely blanks out? Does he pause for a minute? Does he do Mitch McConnell freeze on the mic. You know what I mean? Like there could be any, and what other information could have been let out there as well. So I'm sure somebody's going to have to vet somebody in national security is going to have to go through it to make sure that they're not releasing anything that's classified or whatever. But I'll be interested to find out what is in said information there. And while I got the mic, let me thank B Bloggin for dropping a $1 super chat over on YouTube. No message on there, but thank you.
So you know what we're going to hear?
My butt's been wiped.
My butt's been wiped. My butt's been wiped.
No, the president didn't say that. Yeah.
My butt's been wiped.
Remember, they also said that the dog was biting people and pooping in the hallway. That was Joe Biden. He was biting people and pooping in the hallway. Just to let everybody know.
He was only pooping in the hallway.
Yeah. Long as we're talking about a little bit of what was going on in New Jersey out there. Ran by this one out here. Congress lady, what is her name?
Hageman.
Yeah, Hageman. This is an interesting thing. It's been around for a while.
With the drop boxes, there were the issues associated with what was going on in the polling places. Something else people don't know is that started in the mid-1980s, there was a federal district court judge in New Jersey, who entered a consent decree that Republicans could not be poll watchers. So from mid-80s until 2020, Republicans were not allowed to be poll watchers on these national elections. And what happened was that judge eventually died, and the Democrats, the DNC, they had to go get that injunction renewed every 5 or 8 years, something along those lines. And when that judge died, he was replaced by an Obama judge. And they went back to that judge and they said, we want this consent decree in place, making it so Republicans cannot be poll watchers and cannot be a part of this process. And he said, what in the heck are you talking about? This is absolutely so unconstitutional. And he refused to renew that consent decree. He refused to renew that injunction. So 2020 was one of the first years that we had professional Republican poll watchers in these elections to see what was going on in Atlanta, in Detroit, in Milwaukee, in Philadelphia. It was the first time we were able to really see what was going on in these polling places. And what that tells me is that probably a lot of these shenanigans had been going on for a long, long time, but there were no Republicans there to report on it.
Do you think it's
Yeah, dude, that's crazy to realize that actually happened in New Jersey. I was flabbergasted to learn that. Only in 2020.
Well, and then even in 2020, we had to go to Supreme Court. We had to go to court, essentially. We had people down in Pennsylvania at the 2020 elections, and they weren't allowing the poll watchers to go in there. We went and got a court order, and they still didn't let them in. Like, yeah, everything's on the up and up, I promise you.
Trust us. Oh, we put up these poster boards on all the windows so you can't see inside. And never mind the red car dropping off boxes of votes through the little side door.
Just jamming them in there.
What else do we get? This is the other part about New Jersey. We're only going to wait. Let's get a little bit of this.
In June of 2023, nearly 3 years before I became governor, a serious software error in New Jersey's motor vehicle system led to the improper voter registration of what we believe to be roughly 6,600 people in our state.
Only.
Well, would you look at that? After years of being told by Democrats that illegal immigrants would never do anything that's illegal, like voting in our elections, a Democrat just told us that thousands of illegal immigrants are voting in her state. That was New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill earlier this week, confirming another right-wing conspiracy theory and proving that illegal immigrants are in fact voting in our elections. At least 6,600 illegal aliens were registered to vote in New Jersey, with at least 400 actually having the nerve and the arrogance to go out and cast a ballot. Think about that. And isn't it odd that New Jersey is one of 30 blue states that have refused to hand over voter roll information to the Justice Department. Red states have, blue states won't do it. And then you think about why Democrats in Washington are against voter ID, and it all starts to make sense. They want illegal immigrants voting in our elections on the fringes, in key districts, just enough to make a difference. And our next guest has given the state of New Jersey 5 days to hand over their voter data and the names of 2 questions. How bad do you think this problem is in New Jersey? Do you think it's bigger? And do you think other blue states are doing the same thing?
Well, thank you for having me. And so let's talk about what she said happened. So they aren't necessarily illegal immigrants, but they're immigrants who are not entitled to vote.
They could be green card holders, but still that's against the law.
They could be.
Yep.
All illegal. For the voting part is definitely illegal. Number 2, these are people who self-identified when they were getting their driver's licenses as non-citizens. So these are the people who raised their hands and said, don't register me to vote. So that's a subset of people who are registered to vote illegally in New Jersey, because there are plenty of people who go and they say I'm a citizen and they register to vote and they're not entitled to. So our Homeland Security has actually informed the state of New Jersey that there are potentially 35,000 people on the voter rolls who are not United States citizens who could be casting ballots. And New Jersey has been mum on that. That's why I'm suing New Jersey. But the other thing I want to point out to you is this is not just a blue state problem. Some of the 30 states who are resisting giving us their voter rolls include West Virginia, they include Utah, they include Republican states, because this is a bipartisan problem that, frankly, around the country, secretaries of state have not kept their voter rolls up to date. I mean, look at the governor here. She's pointing the finger.
Where's number 2? 400 votes in the state of New Jersey. Gore was decided by 537 votes. So what's your message to anyone who says that 400 votes in the state of New Jersey isn't enough to swing an election? By the way, JFK beat Nixon in 1960 by 112,000 votes. So 35,000 votes can swing an election. What's your message to people who say this doesn't matter?
I don't know. So she said this didn't matter because they keep moving the goalposts, Rob. First, this isn't happening. Well, it's happening, but it isn't significant. Now, it's happening, but it didn't sway the outcome of the election. But how does she know that? Because there were numerous municipal elections in New Jersey that were decided by a handful of votes. And as you just said, this happens all the time. And as I just said, there are likely tens of thousands of more people on the voter rolls in this state and others who do not belong and who have been casting ballots. So in the past, the Department of Justice and other administrations hasn't gone hard on the voters who vote illegally, but this Department of Justice is. We've already prosecuted some people, and there are many more in the pipeline. And this is a very serious matter. But one more point is, I've informed all election officials throughout the United States that it is a federal crime for election officials to knowingly allow non-citizens to vote.
That's interesting.
We'll be very interested to know what they knew and when they knew it in New Jersey, because this is very troubling that this happened years ago, and she's just conveniently saying it now after we sent that letter out. So we'll see who knew what when.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to wait for that to cook for a little bit as they go through the court cases and see if it's actually bigger than most. See if they start using some of the AI programs in their particular state. I think it'll be a little bit harder than what Georgia is doing.
Yeah, dude, there's so many people on this, and it's so funny. And she's right; they keep moving the goalposts. But I had an idea, dude. Just to say, as she was playing that, I had an idea, and I did text it as well. But let me know how stupid or maybe good this idea might be. What do you think about? Regardless of if you're a citizen or not, you cannot vote in this country, period, until you've been here for 5 years. And then after you've been here for 5 years, then you can vote in the country, regardless.
No.
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 They're just going to play the game and bring in, if we lock down the United States or whatever and get it under control, and have the Americanism that we saw out of the 80s and 90s coming from the illegal immigrants, I would say yes. But today's nomenclature and the changes of political winds happen so fast, it's kabuki theater and control changes pretty quickly. And if they can't continue on with a strong hand of enforcement, then I would say, no, I don't want that, because they would just play the games out for 5 years. You see what I'm saying? He's not that much of an illegal. He's not that big of a criminal. You know, he stole less than $500. You get what I'm saying? They're going to start playing those games.
I figure if you're coming here and you just came here, or whatever, right? You just came here 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and you're just voting for whatever. But if you get to acclimate to the life, and I understand a lot of people don't acclimate to the American way of life, but some people might start to say, hey, I like the way this place is, and I don't want this to be a shithole. But unfortunately, to your point, a lot of people will move out of an area that maybe they don't like, and it's like, oh, well, I need to go move to this place because it's a better way of life, and then they go and vote the way they did when they were living at the place they didn't like. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You're bringing
They
the
bring
shit
it with them.
Yeah.
Yep. Bring their shit with them. Yeah, so you had thrown this out from Laura Logan. This came out July 22nd of, I guess that's 2026, not 026 over there at the top. Talking to the sheriff's department. Yeah, you want to read it?
Well, yeah, and this guy Dar Leaf, he's been at it for a very long time with this stuff. So, President Donald J. Trump, dear Honorable President Trump, I'm writing to you inform that I have evidence of an urgent security threat. Liberty Vote has concealed its employment of Venezuelans, and the fact that past Dominion, Smartmatic, Sequoia employees and contractors are currently working for the company. Edmundo Rojas is one example. Mr. Rojas is from Caracas, Venezuela, and worked for Dominion Voting. Edmundo Rojas and others were permitted remote access to the United States election equipment by virtual machines, and this access went undetected by clerks across the country. The insider threat is not isolated to Edmundo Rojas. I have evidence that other critical Dominion employees with remote access have transferred to Liberty. Attached, you will find proof of Dominion and Eric Coomer's email reflecting that surreptitiously accessed early voting results using a Win EDA server prior to pushing the result files to the official EMS. Eric Coomer coordinated his access during the November 2020 election with a network that included Ronald Morales and Serbian foreign nationals. Oh, dude, that's crazy. I hear experts are promoting a, quote, patch and other measures to address, quote, vulnerabilities. Mr. President, you have an insider threat problem that a patch cannot correct. I love it. Love it, love it. That reminded me of something, dude.
I'm looking for a video that would explain all the Sequoia shit.
And while that video plays, I have not dropped it yet, but I'm going to drop a link. Yeah, no, I got you.
I'm looking for it.
When you do find that, I'm going to find this link and drop it to you, and just look it over quick if you want to rush over it quickly or not.
Where the frick did I leave it?
The word I'm looking for here. The word I'm looking for. Okay, I got it. I know how to find it now. Okay.
I am currently still looking.
Please hold while we reroute your call. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here it is. Found it. Actually,
you find it?
Yeah, do you need another minute? I can read this, a little bit of this, because this is actually right.
Yeah.
Kind of the
let me pull up the link. Did you drop a link?
No, here we go, right there. And this is something we've touched on and talked on a few times over the years. But somebody, and I like this guy's account. I like where his head is at. He says, "Can I offer a possibility that I think many people may have forgotten? 3 minutes. It's an important marker, maybe the most important 3 minutes in the coming prosecution phase. Does anybody remember what happened 3 minutes before President Trump left office after the election was stolen in 2020? The U.S. Department of Defense puzzled internet experts by apparently transferring control of tens of millions of dormant IP addresses to an obscure Florida company just before President Donald Trump left the White House. Minutes before, the millions of the Pentagon's dormant IP addresses sprang to life." So we've talked about this numerous times, and it goes down and talks about global resource systems. Dude, wait, what was that? What was the one in the drops there? What was the one from, it was Free Systems LLC. Okay, never mind. I just want to make sure we're not mixing up stuff. But again, I still don't have a good answer for what that was, dude. And I don't think anybody, will know about what it is until and if they do basically
expose
bring it out.
Yeah.
But he said here, after the stolen election, Trump placed Christopher Miller as acting Secretary of Defense. He personally met with specific generals and leaders to discuss things face-to-face in private. He also did something very important. As acting Secretary of Defense in November of 2020, Christopher C. Miller directed that the U.S. Special Operations Command, SOCOM, be placed on par with military services by elevating its civilian leadership to report directly to him, rather through intermediate bureaucratic channels. At the time, the Pentagon was still filled with deep state operatives. Special Operations Command now reported directly to Christopher Miller. Christopher Miller was a premier expert in special operations, counterterrorism, and irregular warfare. He was the perfect choice right before Trump left office because what if Trump never planned to hand the keys of the real presidential power to an illegitimate and unconstitutionally elected president? What if key parts of our military were still reporting directly to Christopher Miller in the background during the entire Biden term? What's that?
Go ahead.
Who did it? Grow up?
I'm going to throw up.
Oh. I don't believe Biden or military defense Lloyd Austin ever controlled the full military. So, I mean, basically, we rounded this out.
I don't know. We went to a war with Ukraine. So that throws this shit right out the window.
Wait, what?
We went to war with Ukraine. That throws all this shit out the window that they didn't have control over the government. Who had control over the government?
We went to war with Ukraine?
We went to war with Ukraine and blew shit up.
When?
That was Biden's plan. That wasn't Trump's plan. That's what I'm saying.
We went to Ukraine?
Yeah, we pretty much funded the entire war with Ukraine, just used a whole bunch of bodies for meat. The United States went to war with Ukraine and against Russia, using it for a proxy war. That's all I'm saying over there on that side. It also laundered all the hundreds of billions of dollars back into the United States through Act Blue, back into the Democratic coffers. So when people say, they never handed over power, I can't swallow that pill. You know what I mean? That's where I draw the line.
Well, you can't. But how do you know what we saw? How do you know exactly what went on over there?
So you're saying Trump left office, kept control of the White House, and then did the war with Ukraine? And Lloyd Austin and the rest of the group didn't have anything to do with it because they didn't have control over the military. Those are the things I can't quantify. I will go down the rabbit hole with a lot of you guys and all those sort of things, but to say that Trump was still in power for the 4 years and he never gave, I can't swallow that.
I don't know if he was ever in control of anything, dude. Again,
but you get what I'm saying. That's the thought process of what people are talking about, that he kind of kept in control of the military while Biden was office, playing kabuki theater with the Iranians and the Chinese and all that. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but how do you explain?
I can't quantify it.
How do you explain all the other weird things that we saw? And we could make a whole 3-hour show out of this part.
Oh, well, give me one.
Oh, dude, where should we start? How about the inauguration?
Well, he still took office. He was in the White House, living and sleeping inside the White House. So what are you saying?
Was he?
Yeah.
You can.
They had him there. Remember, he was biting people and pooping in the hallway.
It was the
I'm trying to make fun of it at the same time, but I can't swallow that big pill there, because maybe Joe Biden wasn't in charge, and it was the rest of those little 25-year-olds all walking around playing with the auto pen that Trump talks about. Those are the things I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
I think if they were in control, we probably would have been into a nuclear war if they were in charge. That would be my guess.
They tried to. Remember, that's what Biden was trying to do. They wanted to nuke war with Russia. They were hoping they could push it right over the edge. Like, if you wanted to continue on with this, we can.
No.
I don't have a problem with it.
No, I'm good with it. I still just
am I crazy, chat? Am I just off my rocker and I'm not in the plan or whatever?
You're a little off your rocker, because you could go through the inauguration itself and find about 10 different things that happened during that inauguration that just didn't make sense as well. oh wait, they fired Trump's doorman, but they forgot to hire another guy. Wait, they're locked out of the White House, sitting at the front door. That's not weird. Wait, why is it super sunny on inauguration
well, you got to remember, you got to remember, some people. Oh, I thought you were one of us. I do percentages is the way I do. And if I can quantify it and get enough percentages together, then I can rationalize it being actually true. At this point, I don't see enough evidence unless more stuff comes out and we see a little bit more on there. But don't get me wrong, all the mannerisms of Q and the timings and stuff like that, that stuff never stopped. But I'm talking physical control over the machine itself was run by the Biden administration and a whole bunch of other things as they tried to throw gold bricks off of the Titanic right before Trump took office. Those are the things I'm talking about. So when you say control, how much control did Trump have?
I would say enough control to make Joe Biden further every one of his executive orders the whole way through, as far as election interference. How does that work?
Explain to me on why we went to war with Ukraine and killed an entire 30 years of generation. Now, was that Trump's decision to do that? Or is that whose decision was that?
That was Putin's decision to go in to attack Ukraine.
We
special military operation.
Ukraine. Yeah. But who decided that we wanted to go to war with Russia? Was that Trump saying, okay, we're going to go defend Ukraine and go in there and take care of all the bad guys out there? Or is this Biden running some part of the military, I guess, to go after these things, and Trump has a piece of just quantify that for me. You can talk about the executive orders. I get all those things. You know what I mean? But I'm just talking, when you're putting people's lives on the lines and you're killing 15 to 20 million people in a 10-year, in a 3.5 year period. That's all. That's all I'm saying on those types of things. Who's making those decisions?
Hulk, you are crazy, but I agree.
Well, I'm watching your chat.
Oh, okay.
And those types of things. I don't have anything in there. But I'm going over the control of the deep state and Victoria Nuland and the whole fucking thing that they ran over in Ukraine and all those types of things. That's a whole Joe Biden operation and those types of things. And obviously, we all thought that they wanted to cover that up to make sure that that $1 billion guarantee didn't come leaking out. So they decided to go to war with Ukraine to hide all that shit. And hopefully we go in a nuclear war with Russia. I think that was the plan of the Joe Biden administration. That's the way I look at it. And it has nothing to do with Trump or Trump being in control or any of those types of things. Now, all the other ancillary things I'm not getting into, but I'm just trying to make a finer point on what do you think on that?
I think that was part of the narratives because we needed to go into there. Because what did he say? We needed to denazify and demilitarize. No, hold on. They needed to demazify and demilitarize that area. And what did they go in and do? They got rid of and exposed something that was a big question mark for a very long time, right?
So how many of those people do you think are actually there? Maybe, let's say 100,000 of those Nazi card carrying, maybe. Let's say, 500,000 of them, right? I mean, just not carrying the Nazi Banderites, those types of guys that they have the war memorial inside Ukraine because they were all Nazis over there left over. The United States took over the intelligence side of what was ending up of the Nazi regime. And with Galen Reinhardt and his network and the intelligence that were run there, the United States just decided to take that over and the whole Operation Paperclip and all those types of things. So there's a history with Ukraine. We've been there a long time playing those particular deep state games and those types of things. It's just that, at this point, I can't say that Trump decided to denazify Ukraine and purge probably a good 10 to 15 million Ukrainians and put them through the meat grinder. You tell me that was part of the plan?
20 million Ukrainians are in the meat grinder right now, and you're sure of that? And we're talking about the war totals of the deaths and the stuff that they buried in the ground themselves. Because you can go back and we can look at the numbers themselves. The U.S. State Department reported the numbers themselves.
There's millions dead. We probably wiped out a 20-year generation. Remember, they were conscripting people that were in 65 years old and retarded people and putting them on the front line because they don't have anybody to fight the wars. So I'm just trying to ask you, that was Trump's decision to go do that?
Well, again, for the third time, we didn't go in anywhere. Remember, Russia went in and attacked Ukraine, right?
Where did Ukraine get all the weapons and money and support?
Who have they been dealing with for the last, by now, 12, 13 years, at least?
What do you mean, dealing with? I mean, I see the Trump thing, but I'm just talking about the 4-year
Before
period.
that, go way back to 2014. Go back to the color revolution. They had all their people were in there. So you're telling me that they never got weapons and stuff before that? Trump gave them what? They said Trump gave them batteries to push back or whatever. But the idea that we went into to Ukraine, it's kind of, because remember, we were, quote, funding Ukraine.
Yeah, we gave them all the armaments and all our freaking what do you call it, the mortars and all that we basically sucked off more than 60% of our stockpiles into Ukraine. Those are the things that I can't quantify of Patriots in control, that we decided to go and support some war in Ukraine. Well, whether it's under Trump or Biden or whatever, those types of things, I can't wrap my head around it, that if we're going to show justice in America, that we would put 15 to 10 million people's lives on the line to go take out a couple 100,000 or 1 million the Nazis are hanging out in Ukraine. And I'm just making up numbers or whatever. You know what I mean? But we know there was a crap load of Ukrainians that have died in there. And now they're dividing up the country. So I'm just, I'm not poo-pooing on any of the plan or panic or any of those things. Those are just, I can't wrap my head around that.
You ever seen the movie, and this is because it's the third time it's been brought up in the chat that I've seen. You ever seen the movie Wag the Dog?
Yes.
There you go. Case closed. Thank you.
And what exactly are we referencing to Ukraine? That you think that the war was all fake? Is that what you're saying?
Wag the dog situation is a political term for creating a fake crisis or military distraction to turn public attention away from
I know what it is, but I'm just. Are you saying the Ukraine war was fake?
Not
like all of it
is fake. Not everything is fake, Hulk, but not everything is real either, right?
Yeah, I'm just navigating the thought process of just one thing I could never ever wrap my head around on that particular point itself. It's just, not to think that I'm some anti-shill or psyop or anything like that. I'm not saying that whatsoever. That's just one thing I can't wrap my head around.
I think maybe you're misremembering how things went, though, because remember, they went in to denazify and demilitarize that zone. They were very, 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 very clear on that. Could they have gone in and just wiped out a whole area? Yes, but they didn't want to. Why? Because that Donbass area was 90% ethnic Russians, right?
Yeah,
so, and the, what do you call it? The hospital, not the hospitals, the facilities there in which they were making all these nasty things, right? That was a question before. It was like, no, they don't have all these different bases where they're making this nasty stuff at. And yes, we finally
biolabs.
The biolabs, thank you, excuse me.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that because that's the thing I think about the most on that particular deal itself. That I can't quantify that in my head with reality. Maybe I'll come around to it. Who knows, dude? I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but just I can't wrap my head around it. So I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Ukraine has the best wooden guns going.
I remember those too. They didn't have enough weapons and all that. But they chewed through a shitload of our armaments that we gave them.
Really
another thing you want to talk about over here that I found quite interesting, as long as we're talking about Ukraine, they're pretty good at fucking hacking over here. I'll show you some of this shit. So Ukrainian hackers and intelligence experts intercepted a control parameters and altered the operational data of the BAR's Moscow air defense systems. Then they exploited their severe software vulnerabilities to trick the air defense crew deployed in Moscow into misidentifying their own high-tech fighter as hostile threat, triggering a launch. They shot down a plane by hacking their software. Took the whole thing out, blew the whole thing up. And the other thing that Ukraine is still doing over here, they're hitting the Amazons in Russia. The big giant Amazon housing, warehouses, and those types of things. They're hitting them all over the place over in Russia and area. They're thinking that these guys are using the logistics of a Russia Amazon type facility. And these things are absolutely huge. They've probably hit 2 or 3 of these things over here so far. So they're still getting in past the radar systems deep into Russia and be able to hack the systems that are there. So these guys are very good. And remember, these guys are over here training the United States on how to use drone warfare right now.
People are going to be mad when they don't get their deliveries. Now, is that like a Amazon-like, or is it actually Amazon?
Yeah, it's a Amazon-like copy type building, huge millions of square feet warehouse. So this would be like the Amazon. Where that's the wild berries.
No, in the
facility.
Air. Like a balloon, or
that's bird shit on the window.
No, it's moving. Look, is it?
It's bird shit.
It's bird shit. Is it?
It's like fucking bird shit on the window, bro.
No, it like it was something.
Was there anything else on that, dude? But the air defense thing, and then tricking Russia into blowing up their own planes. That was pretty damn good. The other thing that we're doing here, as long as we're talking about war and shit like that, out here on this side, we sent over some of the most advanced electronic warfare planes that we have in the U.S. military. They're over there have a big giant air bridge going between UK down into Israel as they transport a lot of these things out there. So yeah, some of our newest stuff is out there. This thing's $240 million and double the cost of an F-35 out there. So they are definitely trying to protect this thing to make sure it doesn't get damaged. And they have a few of them over there. And it's very rarely do they have more than a couple of these all in the same place. So it's interesting to see that they got those guys over there.
$240 million. Like, dude, what is it that costs all that extra money? Like, all right, I would assume it's not like fully loaded with all the bombs and stuff ready to go on it. It's got to be like
just electronics,
vehicle, right? Like, damn. And then
it's full of electronics, jamming equipment, communication equipment. It also carries the analog and digital communications for Air Force One because they have 2 systems. Because the old Air Force One runs on analog and the new one is digital. So this was be able to communicate for both of them and then be kind of a command center relay system. And they'd be able to monitor what's happening on the battlefield and help transmit the information that like an F-35 fighter would pick up and be able to transport to the rest of the forces so they can actually see and coordinate attacks and those types of things. So this is a big piece of technology.
Yeah, that's bananas. But you got to think like that last one in Russia that just got friggin' shut down. That was $100 million. It's like, what about its jamming equipment? Need to spend an extra $1 million on that one. But geez, I mean, dude, would you even feel safe driving these things nowadays, knowing the capabilities of some of these radar or whatever, the detection systems?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and remember Lindsey Graham just got back from Ukraine. Yeah. That was crazy shit, dude. Crazy shit. Oh my God, the world we live in right now.
Dude, I heard this is another one. This was again. This one is a story that somebody was told, like second person, right? But he said the person that told me was pretty damn credible, and so you're getting it third, fourth person or whatever. But this person claims that Lindsey Graham may have been in a nightclub that night when he died, or he may have went to a nightclub before he died. Because we talked about the fact that there's no way that he was actually back here in America timing wise, and they said it might have been that he was. They said he liked the little guys, the little ones. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Definitely a little limp wristed for sure.
Lane Louie says, has a perfect comment here. Why does it take a month to bury Graham? Scheduling conflicts, question mark? That's absolutely funny how you guys come out with some of those things.
Oh, dude, and I got to get going too. Dang.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah, damn, it's 3.
Let me use the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back.
No, I got to go right this second. Bye. Click.
No, click.
No problem. I got you. And actually, while he's going, I might just do a little on the way out here. I'm going to raid you guys into Mr. Hulkanator, and you guys can talk some sense into him. He's been listening to RDoc a little bit too much. But no. For me, guys, and I just put this in the chat and Rumble, there's just way, and I only put one way in the comments, way too many things that have been outside the normal for there not to be something going on. I mean, there's nobody can deny that. Just absolute crazy town that we've been dealing with for the last many years. Absolute crazy townness. Let me see. I'm going to show you guys. Maybe I can. I don't know how fast it'll take. Maybe I can have Hulk fill the space for a couple seconds while I do this. I'll show you a couple of pictures of me and my cousin, and then a couple of pictures of me and my cousin, and then his son and my son, basically same ages, but good old memories we want to keep. And again, I don't think he's going to come back to Rhode Island. If he does visit, he usually would only come visit his father. So we'll see what happens going forward there. I'm going to raid into you in just a minute, Hulk. I'll probably do a kids guide on the way out. There's no Rumble wallets today. It looks like, for me, anyways. Might be for you. I don't know how they do it. If they do it every other day or every other stream or how it works. But we're going to go spend a little time with the cousin. So. What is my cousin's son to me?
What are you looking forward to the most about visiting with your cousin?
Just, being able to hang out and shoot the shit. And I haven't seen him in 12 years, I think it's been. And, we grew. Actually, you know what, Hulk? Fill the time for a few short seconds here. I'll pull up, and don't share that picture I shared with you because it has my name on it.
I ain't going to share nothing.
I got a clip.
It's all flesh coloring and stuff.
I got you. Give me 1 second.
Again, I thank you, everybody, for always coming by, hanging out with the show. We appreciate you guys all being here. I'm not trying to shill out or anything like that. I promise I'm still here supporting the Trump administration and all that, just giving you my thoughts on little pieces like that. He is going to have a great time saying hi over on the Pilled site itself. Thank you for everybody getting involved over here. We love you guys. We'll come and say thank yous a little bit later because we're going to have to roll solo, and I got plenty of funnies and weird stuff to show you guys all out there. So we appreciate you guys all being here. And how is chat doing out there? Second cousin is what they said if Trump or if Spaceshot is definitely listening or not. Just can't date your second cousins. Thank you there for Hugh Rhetoric. Let's check out there. Yeah, you guys are all come back with the second cousin thing out there.
Never
we're gonna have show. What's that?
I'll never find it. It's always. I'll show the folks next week. But it's always when you're looking for something. Like when you're looking for something, you can never find it. But then when you're looking for something else, you find it. You're like, oh wait, all right, this is where it is. All right, I'll just put this away. I'll put this away for now. If anybody, if I want to find this anytime soon. But of course. I had it just the other day, but it was a picture of me and him. And what I was going to show you was just a picture of me and him around the same, actually probably around 10 years old. But, we were, like best friends kind of growing up. His mother was from Virginia. So he, lived in Virginia and spent a lot of summers here. So we had a good time growing up and we were good buddies. So I'll drop this picture for you. This is my guy, and then his little guy. This one is okay to share.
The one you just dropped with the Walt Disney World on the left T-shirt?
Yeah, that's my little guy. And then...
which one's yours?
He's on the left. So I think he's a little older. Maybe? I don't know. think they're roughly the same age. So
it's your kid on the left and his son on the right, and they're coming.
Yep. So he actually, and that's his name. My son's name is Caleb, and his son's name is Caden. So interesting.
My daughter's name is Cadence.
Cool. Lots of C's. I like it. So yeah.
Actually spelled with a K.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys are racist over there. Yeah, you got to represent KKK with everything. So yeah, we're gonna go hang out with a little bit, and you know what is most fun for me, and I'm not making this up, and I know you've heard this story before, but I'm going to go see. You remember? I've said it a few times. We'll see if anybody in the chat remembers or if Hulk remembers. I told my uncle, and then this is the uncle that is the father to my cousin that I'm going to go see, who he's packing up and going to move back to Missouri with him. This is also the same uncle going back 25 years ago. I told him that I believe that our government was behind something, was behind what happened on 9/11. Do you guys, anybody remember what he looked me dead in the eye and told me? You remember that, Hulk? Did I ever tell you that story? Because I know I've said it on air at least a few times.
I remember. I just don't remember what he said.
You're fucking crazy. You think our government had something to do with taking down the towers? You're fucking crazy. Yep, that's me. So now I'm gonna say to him, "Hey, you still think I'm crazy?" So I'd be like, "Yeah, even more so now."
Yeah. With all the new stuff that just comes out, yeah, it's going to be really, really easy, I think.
Yes, sir.
You should go. Who do you think really killed JFK?
Oh, God. Well, I got to gauge him. He's been. The funny thing is, too, is a couple of my mother's friends. You know, they're heavily libtards, and one of them had the gall to tell me, and I know for a fact, like if I was to sit my mother down and show her, like, hey, this is what they're doing to Trump, she would see it in a second. And one of these idiots had the gall to tell me, "Oh, your mother would be a Democrat today. I'm telling you." And I'm like, "Nope, no way. She'd be roasting the shit out of you too, guaranteed." And being her best friend, she still would have, right? So he's been living in that same area, that same town for the last 20 years, and I've not, seen him much. I've been waiting for him to get older. He was the asshole uncle that I think I told you guys this one taught me how to swim. Did I ever tell you how he taught me how to swim? Yeah, that was fun.
The John Wayne way where he just throws you in the lake.
Well, I think I probably would have preferred being thrown into the lake rather than dragged by my ankles, 30 feet out, and then fighting for my life, getting back into the shore where I could just grab my feet. Oh, my ankle gets grabbed again, pulled back out 30 feet again. Same uncle that hung me off the roof of my house as he's like, "Oh, can you come up here and hand me that shingle?" He grabs me by the hands, hanging me off the tip of my friggin' roof. My mother's like, "Kevin, let him down. The easy way. The easy way, you asshole."
Well, what's that? What the video I've seen where it's John Wayne? It's part of the movie, and he's sitting next to the lake, and the little kid's like something, they're going to go swimming or something like that. He's like, "I can't go swimming. I've never learned to swim." He's, "I'll teach you." And he picks him up and throws him right in the middle of the lake. And then the mom comes over and she's, "Oh my God, you threw my son. He can't swim." "Why can't swim?" "Because I never taught him because I don't know how to." Grabs her and chucks her right in the lake.
Oh, God. That's so funny. So,
laughing my ass off.
I'm half kidding when I say I've been waiting till he's older and I'll be stronger than him, because my uncle is one of those dudes that was just like a solid, he had manpower before I was a man. So I'm waiting for him to get a little bit older and a little bit more feeble, so then I can go and intimidate him now. So it's payback time today, baby. It's been 49 years. 45 years I've been planning this day. No, I'm just kidding.
I always say, I'm gonna zip tie the wheels of your wheelchair together so that you can't move, and I'm gonna just put your dinner out of reach.
Go over and grab him. He was sitting on the wheelchair, grab him on his shoulder, be like, "So, you want to pull me off the roof now, asshole?" Go walk over to the stairs or like towards the stairs with the wheelchair. It's like, "Hey, you want to take a ride down? You want to go the fast way? You want to go or the nice way?" But no, I would never do that. But of course, I would definitely tease the crap out of him for sure. But one more time, guys, before I head out, and then I'm gonna raid you guys over to Mr. Hulkanator. Don't forget to go over and vote for the final song. I'm gonna also put the link in the description box, the chat, so you guys have it as well. Go over there and put your vote for the last song of the day. You guys get to have your say, and you still have Infiltration, Not Invasion pinned over here. Here we go, the Spaceshot Hulkanator Spaceshot show right here.
It should be right at the top. Didn't I fix it this morning?
Let me see. Nope. Infiltration, Not Invasion is pinned. But here you go, guys.
Remember when I said, oh, it's because it's on Twitter. It's wrong. It got programmed wrong because I forgot to hit the save button. So whatever. That is the current show.
P Dancer. I'm not sure. Actually, I can find out. You going to say
Did
something?
I edit the name? Edit live cut. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was actually. He is from Warrensburg.
Oh
I
yeah,
have no idea. I have no idea where that is, P Dancer, but that's roughly the area he's in, Warrensburg. And he's an Air Force veteran. Actually, I could probably show you a pretty cool picture of him if it comes up. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I can't change it. Can't change it. You suck.
It's a pretty cool picture he took, dude.
Let me see. I'm good looking.
And it is public because it's on Facebook. So here we go, and ding. I think you'll enjoy that one.
Yeah, that's a B1. Very cool picture.
Which one's my cousin, you think?
I have no idea.
Take a look. Take a scan. But my cousin is a male.
I'd say this guy right here. That's my guess for whatever reason.
He looks gay.
That's the why I picked him.
Even the way his hands are folded. No, it's not my cousin.
Yeah, that's I figured. I went for the gayest one.
He was like a hillbilly Virginia dude. Now, and I joke when I say hillbilly, but they're very much.
He's a bald guy over here.
He's bald, but not that one. Actually, he's not bald, but in this picture, he is. I'll give you a hint. He's got sunglasses on. And it's not the gay guy. Does that narrow it down for you?
Second from the left. I don't know.
There you go. He joined the cycling team. All right, enough fun. All right, Hulk, I'll check you out later, bro. My son's going over his friend after we get back to go sleep over, so I'm all about gaming if you're home. If not, I'll game by myself. Actually, I'll call my Democrat friend.
We got to do some BF or something, or GTA, or what are you thinking?
I'm down for whatever. I'll link up with you a little bit later, my man. And
so put in chat if you want. Yeah, if you want him to stream the gaming thing, let him know. Make a comment in the bottom of the video. Encourage him more.
Yes, we can. We can stream regular. I don't have to make it premium. So if you want to watch us play some stupid video games later, we can. Always enjoyable. All right, later, Hulk. I'm out of here. I got to say goodbye to my side and expect a raid in about 2 minutos. All right?
Yep.
Peace.
So,
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll work on Mr. Hulkanator. And, you know, he has a very good, I think, fair, balanced perspective on things. And some people need to see a little bit more things than whatever. But there was just some absolute weirdness going on out there. Guys, I'm going to do this one here if it allows, which it is, just to help keep the old lights on as I'm doing this stuff full time, guys. Let's see. Here we go. So, if you've got a dog at home, you already know that they are more than just a pet. They're part of the family. They're your best friend. Well, it turns out America's founding fathers felt the exact same way. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and several of the men who helped build this country all had loyal dogs by their side. Some even traveled with them during the Revolutionary War and were there for some incredible moments in American history. When I found that out, I thought that's actually a pretty cool way to get kids interested in history. And side note, guys, I was finding myself watching a building of the Panama Canal the other day. Very interesting. And so And it turns out a company called The Kids Guide is already doing this. They have a guide called The Kids Guide to the Founders' Furry Friends, and it shares the true stories of remarkable dogs that belong to America's founders. It's beautifully illustrated and easy for kids to enjoy, and it teaches them about people who shaped our country through the stories of the companions they loved most. And let's be honest, getting kids excited about history isn't always easy, but tell them they're about to learn about George Washington's dog, now you got their attention. I thought it was a genuinely clever idea, and if you have kids or even grandkids who love dogs, I think they'll have a lot of fun with it too. They're running a special offer right now that includes the Kids Guide to the Founders' Furry Friends and some other freebies. If it sounds like something your family would enjoy, head over to freeusadoggift.com. That's freeusadoggift.com. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, let me know in the chat if you guys are interested in streaming later. That would probably be after around 11 p.m. I know most of you other guys guys and gals out there will probably be asleep, but probably be playing some Battlefield, which is, like Call of Duty, soldier type stuff, and maybe a little Grand Theft Auto as well. But in any event, I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thank you to the mods very much. And I also, I'll know a little bit more before I start tomorrow's show, but I might also need to cut tomorrow's show all the way down to about 2 full hours. So we'll do a 2-hour show. If I do, I might have to help them pack a little bit. So we'll see. But thank you guys for tuning in on these wonderful Saturdays. I always enjoy these shows with you guys and gals out there. Again, thank you to the mods. And I do, of course, appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots out there for tuning in. And until that next one. Oh, and by the way, I got a nice, interesting, I got a new intro, outro video coming in the next couple of videos. But I have to do a little research on the song that's in it itself. I might have to put a new song to it, but very cool video stuff. So, Wheezy Girls, 2 hours for me is perfect. Yeah, I hear that, believe me. But yeah, it's so to round out what I was saying there. G Fonts dropped the dollar holler, says I have to take into account the public. Biden was reportedly away from the White House 7 out of every 10 days of his term in office, whether for personal vacation or presidential pageantry. Caught it. But thank you there, G-Fonts. And again, do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots out there for tuning in. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and don't forget, subscribe. Peace.
Something special is happening in here. That's right, it's brackets and jackets, bringing it back for brackets and jackets. Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks, Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see, this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh, boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jackets Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. All right, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. investor as well, also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton, and Epstein is Haiti, and Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know? Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Bryan Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. That's right, we're dropping red pills every day. Dropping red pills in the best kind of way. This is brackets and jackets for the denizens of islands.